Good morning and welcome to today's public affairs programming here on KNCI, KZZO, KYMX, and KHTK, operated by Bonneville International. I'm Sarah Quelland. Our first guests today are Joy Smith and Scout Valentine with FieldHaven Feline Center in Lincoln. Joy is executive director and founder, and Scout is a longtime board member. They're here today to talk about how this nonprofit organization rescues and rehomes cats and kittens and the programs and services it offers, including trap neuter release, the Barn Cat program, community assistance, vaccination and microchip clinics, and cat adoptions. They'll also talk about the FieldHaven Marketplace, a thrift shop that benefits FieldHaven, as well as their annual fundraiser, Classics, Katz, and Cabernet, which is scheduled for June 9th in Lincoln. Joy, Scout, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're so excited to be back. We have great things to talk about.
Can you introduce yourselves and provide a little background?
I'm Joy, and I started FieldHaven along with my sister in 2003. So that's 15 years ago, and this year we're celebrating our 15th anniversary of life-saving of cats. We started in the Lincoln area, but we have expanded well beyond that area, which we'll talk about a little bit today.
I'm Scout, and actually I had known about FieldHaven when I had worked at the Folsom City Zoo. At the zoo, we actually had a feral cat exhibit to let people know about feral cats, and because of that, I knew about FieldHaven. And when I retired, I decided, since I lived in Lincoln, that would be a fabulous place to volunteer. And I went and talked to Joy, and it's been 10 years, on the fast track.
What is FieldHaven, and what was the inspiration behind this nonprofit?
I've always been a cat lover, even when I was a child growing up on farms on the East Coast. I was always the cat person in the family. And somehow I just sort of evolved into rescuing cats as an adult. I had a career in healthcare technology, and I started FieldHaven when my husband and I moved to the Lincoln area from Santa Cruz in 2003. We moved there in 2001. And it started out just to rescue a couple of litters of kittens from a nearby ranch. And as they say, it just went on from there.
Where is FieldHaven, and what is the facility like?
We're in Lincoln, in rural Lincoln, so on the Newcastle side of Lincoln, on a 10-acre horse ranch, which is my husband's and my ranch. And we do have horses there, although some of their pasture space has been taken up by our newest facility, the Second Chance Ranch. So we have two facilities on the property now. We have the main shelter, and we have the Second Chance Ranch, which is a place for doing TNR projects, trap neuter release, and feral cats, our barn cat program. The main shelter is where we run all of our primary operations of intake, sheltering, community assistance. We have a licensed veterinary facility there, along with a full-time veterinarian, and we can do surgeries there. We also have a facility in downtown Lincoln, which is a FieldHaven Marketplace, which is essentially our thrift store, but it really acts as a center of FieldHaven and a community center within the heart of downtown Lincoln. We have an adoption center there, Champy's Cafe, which is set up like a little coffee shop where you can come in and have your coffee or your drink, your coffee or tea, and adopt a kitty, meet some kitties, shop, donate, volunteer, and a lot of people just come in to ask questions. So it really is a great area where a great place where people can come in and learn about FieldHaven. We also operate out of the marketplace once a month a vaccine and microchip clinic. Low cost for dogs and cats. And we also have a pet food pantry that operates out of there, which are for dogs and cats as well. So we do, while we are a feline center, we do some things with dogs as well.
How many animals have been rescued since FieldHaven was founded, and where do they come from?
They come from all over, frankly. I mean, essentially we started in Lincoln. It's our community, but we have grown well beyond there, where sometimes we have actually had animals come from as far away as the East Coast. Several years ago, we did a transport from when if you may remember, the big storm called Superstorm Sandy, which actually affected some family members of mine. And we ended up, through saving their pets, I had a family member that actually perished in the storm. through saving her cats, we ended up transporting other refugee cats from there. So, while our heart is still in our own backyard, that is our priority of Lincoln and Placer County, we're expanding out beyond that. And this year we have really reached out into the Yuba County area and have done some really wonderful things there, which I'd like to talk about too during our time here today.
Talk about it now.
Okay, all right. Well, great. Well, Yuba County has a shelter that has historically been very, very under-resourced. For example, their euthanasia rate, or I will say what we call in the biz the live release rate, for the last several years has hovered around 20%. So that means that 8 of every 10 cats that enter the shelter are euthanized. And last year, they euthanized over 1,100 cats and kittens. So we decided to step in and help them out. We started in the last quarter of the year, and we really jumped in, full steam ahead in January. And I actually am so excited, and it's just I can't even hardly talk about it because it's so exciting. But we just even have our April statistics that just came in yesterday. So far this year, we have flipped that number, and now they are at an 88% live release rate. So that means that almost 9 of every cats that come into that shelter are leaving the shelter alive through various programs that we have implemented. And the ones that are being euthanized, people ask, well, what about the ones that are being euthanized? They're for quality of life and humane reasons. So there are no euthanasias taking place because of cats that need treatment for treatable illnesses or for space or for the fact that they're feral. We have implemented programs that are addressing every one of those populations of animals. And right now, we're calling it the kitten storm because the kittens are coming in. We are seeing them come in. They're little neonates. We had kittens last week that came in that are just a couple of ounces in weight. We're saving every one of those. It's hard work. We need help from the public to do it, but we are accomplishing it. And the staff at the Yuba shelter is so energized and so motivated for so many years. These people love animals. They don't like doing what they have to do, but they are so energized and excited now that they're actually coming to work and saving animals every day, not killing animals. And it's just so exciting to us. I can't tell you. Do I act excited about it? We're saving lives every single day. We're getting a network of people up there that want to help. Last week we had a cat come in. If you look on our website or on our Facebook page, you'll see O'Malley. O'Malley is an orange tabby that came through a cat door. And a lady named Jeanette woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and here was this cat who was just bedraggled and broken and looked just horrible. His jaw was just twisted off to the side. He had lacerations on him. His coat was covered in grime and mud. And that's what she woke up to at 4 o'clock in the morning in her bathroom. And he had come in through her cat door, and he picked the right house because she took this very sort of picture of him that just showed him with his jaw off to the side and said, I need help. This cat showed up in my bathroom. What do I do? Well, right away, we got animal services out there to pick up this kitty. We looked at him. We knew we needed to see a vet. He went over to Marysville Veterinary Hospital. They looked at him and said his jaw is fractured. He needs surgery. We didn't have funds for the surgery. They gave us a really very generous estimate. They partnered with us. We put out a pledge to people on Facebook, said, please help save O'Malley. We not only got the money to cover his surgery, but we now have the O'Malley Fund. We made several $1,000s over what we brought in, several $1,000s over what we needed for that surgery. So now it's the O'Malley Fund, so we can help other cats in that area, and dogs too, that are coming into the Yuba County shelter that previously would have just been euthanized because they don't have the resources. So O'Malley is back at our shelter now. He's back at FieldHaven. His owner did not show up. We did an exhaustive search because he had a collar on, but he was an intact male, no microchip. So please, people, microchip your pets. And he's back at our shelter now, and he has a fan club. If we don't post something every day about how he's doing, people are, how's O'Malley? How is he today? He's getting presents in the mail, and so he is symbolic of what we're doing there. And it's just, yes, that's just one cat, but O'Malley is
he's symbolic, actually, of what change, what positive change can happen. When you have people who have the resources and have the energy. When Joy talks about the live release rate, one of the challenges of any animal shelter are the neonates, are the little babies that come in. And if you don't have a network of people who are ready to take them right away, the kittens are unfortunately the ones who are at highest risk. And so those are the ones that are euthanized. So if you can imagine what it must be like for the staff, to have to do that. And now we are working with them. We're working on creating a network of volunteers, of fosters, of putting together programs where we can teach people how to take care of these little kittens, these little neonates. And it's so rewarding. And really, the need is out there, but also there are people who really want to help. Joy had mentioned a shot clinic. So we've been so successful with doing a shot clinic in Lincoln. They don't have that, a shot, vaccinations and microchips up in that area. And our veterinarian, Dr. Rensing, she's so excited and anxious about doing it. So we went up, and it was the first time, and we weren't quite sure how many people might show up for this vaccine clinic. We did almost 50 dogs had come in. We were only there for 2 hours. And the people, the residents who lived up there were so grateful. A lot of them, we did it on a Sunday. A lot of them said, I just can't get to a vet, on the hours that I work. They were so grateful to have microchips because of the fires that we've had. People are very aware of the importance of having a microchip. So again, it's bringing those resources up, and it has changed. People who are working in that area. It's made a huge difference to see the positive impact that they can have by partnering with us.
What other agencies do you partner with?
We partner with San Francisco SPCA, Humane Society of Silicon Valley, and Marin Humane Society to do transfers of cats. We have transferred out over 200 cats this year from areas that are under-resourced and have too many cats for their adoption programs. In the Bay Area, they've had spay-neuter programs for 30 years. So they are actually they need cats for their adoption programs. So every Wednesday we send a transport to San Francisco SPCA. We are working with Humane Society of Silicon Valley. They come up. Sometimes they'll take 30. One time they took 50 cats and kittens. There was some moms with kittens, but from all different agencies up in the northern area. And we are just starting to work with Marin Humane Society as well. And it's a wonderful sort of paradigm shift of not even just adopting out of our own shelters, but transporting cats to shelters that need cats for adoption. I've actually heard from yesterday, I had a plea from a shelter in Florida that said, we need cats. They will go within a 5 to 6 hour driving radius to find cats. I mean, this is what's happening in our country. It's not everywhere yet, but it is what's happening as people are embracing and understand the importance of spay-neuter and why we need to do it. And now we're able to help those shelters that, like Yuba County, that beforehand we didn't have the resources to help them. Now we can.
And social media has been such a help to the animal community. I mean, we also have we had a cat that came in that was FELV, leukemia positive. And those cats are really challenging to find homes for. But because of social media and because all these different groups, we all work together. It's all about collaboration and working together. And so we found actually a woman that we knew who lives up in Washington who'd had a positive cat and said that she would take it. So one of our volunteers, her husband's a pilot, so they have their own plane. So they put the cat in the plane. And
actually, two of them.
Two of them, that's right. and off they went to Washington. So working together is certainly the way to get things done.
What are some of the biggest challenges facing the animals you rescue?
The biggest challenge, and it is facing the animals because we want to save as many as we can, is funding. I mean, we are a private organization. We do not get any funds, municipal funds, city funds, county, state. We are completely funded by our donors. A few grants, but primarily our generous donors, our volunteers, our supporters, and our fundraisers. So that is the biggest challenge, because we have so much energy and so much dedication, but sometimes we have to step back because we don't have the funding to take on yet another litter of kittens, for example, or a major medical case. So we have to be very careful of that, because we do have to keep the lights on and pay the bills and everything. So funding really is our biggest roadblock.
And Joy's right, because we may get in a litter of kittens, or we may get in a challenging medical case. And it's the question that we talk to veterinarians, and we talk with Joy, and we talk with the people in the know as far as finances are concerned. And it's a tough decision. Do you spend $2,000 on one cat, and save one cat, or do you use that $2,000 to save 10 kittens? So it's on a case by case basis. And I can't tell you how many times we've said, just one more, or just one more, or just one more. This is just one more. But again, the one mores add up, and we like to say, don't do more than you can do well. But it's hard not to when you look into the eyes of an animal, and that is especially an animal like O'Malley, that they've fought so hard to stay alive, and so it is difficult. But when people just say, well, kittens, it's just one kitten, but on average, I think our average right now is around $350 for an animal from literally from in the door to into a home. It costs us about $350, and that factors in a whole lot of things. People don't even think about, all the way down to what your insurance might be. So when 10 come in, that's $3,500, or if we find one of the things that we have helped with in a couple of cases are hoarding situations. And so often these cats are in really poor shape. So that can be something that's thousands of dollars. But again, I think people have seen it on television where you see hoarding situations, and it's just these animals are desperate for care. So we're one of the things I do a lot of is the fundraising part. So I'm always trying to think, let's put it out to our supporters. And thankfully, we have Facebook. When we've had cats that came in, if they have, like O'Malley, that have these jaw surgeries, they need baby food. So boy, we just say we need baby food, and we get baby food. So people shop and send it to us. They send us formula. They send us bottles. They send us all of those things, which helps tremendously. So it's making that decision on which animals to accept, and can we keep going, and can we fund it all? So donations.
And it is, as Scout said, it's not just the dollars. It's when people donate supplies that we need, and donating to our thrift store. That is what funds does, is provide some funding for us. So cleaning out your closets, donate to thrift store, shop at the thrift store. That all helps us as well. So we do get very creative on ways to make money, but we have to. I don't like asking for money. It is not inherent in my makeup. Some people love to be I am not a salesperson, but I have to, because I'm saving lives. It's not for me, it's for the animals.
Yeah, somebody told me they're going to bring me knee pads because I'm down on my knees begging so much. It's like, here's your knee pads, because you're the one who's always asking for stuff. But Joy's right about the thrift store. Our thrift store is really fun. I mean, we have so many cool things that come through the door. So she's right. Donate. You can donate by bringing us things to our thrift store, or shopping in our thrift store is a way that really, really helps us.
One of the unusual ways that we do make quite a bit of funds is by selling jewelry. People donate jewelry to us. They're cleaning out their houses, jewelry that they don't that they don't want anymore, or a lot of it's vintage jewelry when a family member passes away, or it's broken jewelry. Last year, we made over $8,000 selling jewelry. We have a team of volunteers that are so creative. They repurpose it, they clean it, if we have stuff that, like gold that cannot be really reused, we have a gold buyer that will buy that from us. So jewelry, just even costume jewelry, we sell quite a bit of it. It does really well, and everybody knows us for our jewelry now around Lincoln.
And what's the address of the thrift shop?
It's 454 F Street in downtown Lincoln, and you can remember F for FieldHaven or F for Farrell.
And it's easy to find because it's the only Quonset hut that is it's a big, huge Quonset hut. So that is in our little downtown Lincoln area.
Can you talk about your upcoming fundraiser?
Yes, Classics, Katz, and Cabernet. I always tell people when they ask me about the party and what it is like to prepare for it, and I said, well, think about that you're preparing for a wedding with inviting 500 of your closest friends every year.
And you ask them actually beforehand, you ask them to give you all the gifts before. I'm the one that asks for the gifts because we need gifts so we can auction your gifts when they come to the wedding.
So Classics, Katz, and Cabernet this year is on June 9th. It's on the grounds of FieldHaven. It's a very fun party, and literally about 400 to 500 people come. We have antique cars and boats and some other antique vehicles. We're going to have some fun surprises this year that are displayed for people to wander around and look at. In the ticket price, which is $60 pre-purchase tickets, we usually do sell out. $60 includes all your food and beverages, so it's everything for the day. We have fun things like a photo booth. We do great auctions. We have the best auction items. For example, one of the live auction items is one that we did last year, and it did so well that we sold several of them. And theme parties are a really fun thing now. And we did a redneck party, and we sold several of them. And we actually just hosted one a couple of weeks ago for a birthday party. And they are fun. We hold them right at FieldHaven on the grounds, and you get to have the best fun. You pull out your best inner redneck, and we have a great time. Everybody talks redneck. Everybody acts redneck. You dress like fun. We have all the costumes and clothes for you. And it's a really, really fun time. So that's one of the things that is unique to our auction. But we have a lot of things. Like we usually have about 20 live auction items, and usually 80 to 100 silent auction and raffle items.
How can people buy tickets?
They can go online to either fieldhaven.com or classicscatsandcabernet.com, depending on if you want to type the long version or the short version. Tickets can be bought online. They're $60 in advance, $75 at the door. But like I said before, that we usually sell out. So I would advise going to get tickets now. We do sell tables, and it's a table of 8 for $700, I believe. Yeah, $700. And you get a guaranteed table under the tent. So you're in the shade. You're at premium seating. But we only have 3 of those tables left right now. So we have pretty much almost sold out, but we have 3 of them left. One part of the live auction that's always super fun for us is that we ask people to just donate from their heart. And it's called Fund a Need. And we typically have a particular item or a cause that we're asking people to donate for. For example, last year we were looking to have a surgical unit, and we were thinking that we might want to purchase a mobile surgical unit. So we actually got enough donations to build, not to purchase a mobile one, but to build a surgical unit within our facility, within our veterinary facility. So now we can do on-site spays and neuters, every day at right in the shelter. And that is one of the things that came about because of the generosity of our donors at Classics, Katz, and Cabernet, and not because they were taking something home, but just because they gave from their heart and they believe in what we do. And we're going to be able to save a lot of cats and do a lot of spays and neuters. It's going to open within a week or so.
Do you have any other events coming up?
Every month we do adoption events at Pet Food Express in Roseville, but we do
in the fountains,
in Roseville. We do special events, all the time that just sort of will pop up. We go out and do outreach events in the community. But in terms of formal events right now, we're concentrating on Classics, Katz, and Cabernet. That's where all of our energy is going, preparing for that big day.
What more would you like people to know about Classics, Katz, and Cabernet?
It is a fun day, and you feel good coming there, supporting the animals. It's a lovely venue. Everybody is friendly. Everybody has fun. You can come home with some fabulous auction items. The food is great. We have ice cream sundaes. And this year, for the second year, it's a secret, but I'm going to reveal the secret. We have Miss V's dessert bars, which are simply the best. They are incredible. She introduced them pretty much last year at Classics, Katz, and Cabernet. And
was that the area where people were climbing over the top of each other to get to the front of the line?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought
and
that
now
was it.
She is a Sonoma Williams vendor. They are selling her dessert bars. That's how good they are. So that's worth the ticket price in itself.
I agree.
What more would you like people to know about FieldHaven?
I like to think that we're a bit of the crown jewel as far as rescue has been concerned. Joy has been, she's sitting right next to me. I don't, talk for her, but Joy has been connected within the animal welfare arena, if you will, for 15 years. And she has a lot of fabulous contacts. Again, it goes back to collaboration. We worked very closely with the Caret Shelter Medicine Program at UC Davis. They helped us with the design of the program. When we were ready to open the Second Chance Ranch, they were thrilled and came out and wanted to be the ones that kind of had the first shovel full. So we, and again, because of the veterinarians that we have, the expertise that they have, we really are what I like to kind of think is cutting edge. We are a small shelter doing huge things. Again, reaching out to help other under-resourced areas. That takes a lot. Helping animals that would have been euthanized in other shelters, but because of the programs that we have, we can do that. It just really, truly is. We really, when people call, we try to never say no. We try to say for every cat a solution, that we work one way or the other to either get it in or get it kept in a home, or we, I can't tell you how many times Joy and I have jumped in the car and driven to another 45 minutes or an hour away to help somebody out. I had this kind of interesting kind of a revelation in the tack room recently. The tack room, because it is on a horse ranch, they've got beautiful facilities and tack room. And that's where FieldHaven began, was in Joy's tack room with these kittens that were in the tack room. And we were sitting in there, and we had kennels full of cats that were actually going to San Francisco SPCA. So when you think about 15 years and how far we've come from 2 little kittens to being able to save up to 50 cats in a single day, that's pretty amazing. And we felt, we were really honored that they contacted us. I mean, people are calling us and saying, we want to work with you. You've got such a fabulous reputation. So I think that is probably one of the things to be proud of, is that we accomplished so much as a relatively small shelter.
And we're always thinking outside the box. There's always more to be done. And I think sometimes we want to rest on our laurels and just take a breath, but there's more to be done, and we're going to go out there and do it.
How can people connect with FieldHaven?
There's a lot of different ways. Our website, FieldHaven.com, our Facebook page, which is FieldHaven Feline Center. They can call us at 916-434-6022. We actually answer the phone. Most times, if you call at 2 a.m, you might get voicemail. You can email us at info@fieldhaven.com or joy@fieldhaven.com or scout@fieldhaven.com. So anyway, or just come visit us. Come visit the shelter. Come visit the marketplace. Come visit the Second Chance Ranch.
Come to Classics, Katz, and Cabernet. Or as I
Right.
said, I'm in charge of the live auction. So if you're listening to this and you have some fabulous item that you would like to donate for our auction, absolutely, scout at fieldhaven.com.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
We love our supporters and we love our volunteers. We wouldn't be where we are. We couldn't do what we do if it wasn't for all the people that help.
I have to agree with that. It really is. I've often heard people say, I'll introduce myself to someone who's new, and they say, oh, I'm only a volunteer. And I'll say, take the only part out. You're a volunteer, and you are the foundation. You're the foundation of what makes FieldHaven work. It's through your help and through your expertise, we can continue to do what we do.
That was Joy Smith and Scout Valentine with FieldHaven Feline Center in Lincoln. For more information about FieldHaven, to view adoptable cats, learn about volunteer opportunities, or get more information about Classics, Katz, and Cabernet, which is scheduled for June 9th in Lincoln, visit fieldhaven.com. That's fieldhaven.com. Or call 916-434-6022. That's 916-434-6022. If you have any questions regarding this program, please address your correspondence to Public Affairs in care of this station. Thanks for listening. I'm Sarah Quelland.